This will be a day long remembered. Now I am the master.
Welcome to another episode of Legends and Theories, and welcome to my essentially custom Lego build, which is a submission to a Lego Ideas contest for Lord of the Rings, and it was to win a bunch of Lord of the Rings sets. I did already own all of them, but I just wanted to use this as an opportunity to test out Bricklink Studio because I do want to eventually design a third floor to Arkham Asylum, and well, it's probably heavily based off of the second floor. I did want to test around with some alternate designs using Bricklink Studio before I went and actually built it. So I'm going to just take a look at this, and again, I didn't even make it into the final round of it. I wasn't fully expecting to. It was a far more simplistic build, but I just wanted to have some fun with it and recreate a book accurate Frodo's 50th birthday, and I couldn't even use all the correct heads and torsos because they weren't even all on Bricklink. So if you take a look at the characters going from left to right, you have Frodo, Sam, Pippin, Merry, and finally Fatty Bolger. And this is mainly using the original Lord of the Rings pieces because the new ones haven't been put on there yet. But yeah, they're just all there. They're outside of back end, and I built this little display stand saying the Lord of the Rings with the one ring on the stand. And yeah, so, I mean, it looks cool. Pretty it's a pretty decent design, and I'm not really sure if those pieces are in black, but it's just tile with silver text on them, and I don't know, it was just a cool design and just something I thought would be fun to make, just to show the characters off because when they're inside of the area eating, it's really hard to see them. So let's go take a look at the build itself, and again, it's a 3D model, so I can't exactly physically move it around, but I could just talk about the images. So let's go and take a look at the first one. And this is just the exterior. You could see it behind the display stand that I had. And I mean, it's just a simple exterior. It's just supposed to be the small section of the hill that back end is in. And I built the kitchen window, very heavily inspired by the new bag end set. And I was just looking at that image for reference on how to build it. But yeah, so I think it looks pretty solid, and there's some things where I couldn't cover up perfectly. You see some of the wall color is bleeding through because it wasn't going to look great one way or the other, so I didn't want a little bit of the wall bleed through instead of the green onto the other side. So, yeah, I think it looks pretty solid. It again, not the greatest build I could ever make, but still I really did enjoy it and thought that it was like just really nice to have there. If you take a look at the interior now, this is from the first angle. You can see the side of the wall, and this probably wouldn't be super stable in real life because there's a lot of bricks on top, although it is hollow towards the center, and I'll be putting a lot of strain on the. This is a 16 by 16 tile, which is only being held up by two ends. But obviously, that's so I could go and get a better look into the model and to have more of a display. I have a bunch of rings placed around the side, and yeah, so, I mean, it's a nice look. You can see the small little area leading into the rest of Bag End, and I think that it looks really nice, and well, it's a solid design. But going to the other angle of this, you can see just the exterior wall. This is just the outside, and you can see the slight difference in color for one of the support pillars that is serving as a doorway because it is a slightly different color when I looked at the Legos that I had, so that also was the little border around it because I had originally had it around the entire thing, but decided to change around the exterior to actually look like the outside of Bag End. But yeah, honestly, just wanted to show off these two sides before I look at the actual build and everything going on. The most straightforward angle of everything is looking at it from the back, and you can really only see the backs of their heads as they are at the table and eating. And this is all inspired by what Tolkien wrote and how he said that what Frodo did for his 50th birthday was just have a nice day with meal with friends. He's also celebrating Bilbo's. It'd be like I think 150th, or it'd be a few years ahead because not 150th, it'd be like 130th, I think. Yeah, Frodo was I think 33 in the beginning, and then 17 years passes. Bilbo was 111, so I think it'd be like 28, 128, I think. I think he's 131 or 131 to 133 at the end of the story, but he's just around that 130 age mark. But going and taking a look at this, it's just supposed to have bare walls because Frodo's about to move out, and they're going to have just a feast. You can't really see it from this angle, which is why I do have better images of that. And at first, I was finding a really hard way to be able to get an image of it because I kind of had to zoom in on everything, and you couldn't really see the faces or the food that well. It was just really difficult to be able to see it. Then I just realized, oh, I could just literally just make a copy of the image and delete the front wall. So that's what I did to be able to show off everything. And this shows up as much as best as I can. We have Frodo and Sam sitting across from each other, then Merry and Pippin on the either on both sides of Fetty Bulger, who's in the middle. Then you can see they all have a glass of Old Yards. Also, there's a mushroom on the table, some chicken, and a carrot. I think that was enough to have a Hobbit feast, and this is the greatest design ever. No, I also have a small like carpet design on the floor to try and match as best as I can the carpet that was a printed piece in the Shire set. But yeah, honestly, it was just a fun design to do it. And if you want to, you can go onto the Bricklink app and vote for. I think it's top 3 to 5 finalists to see who will be getting the grand prize and who will be getting the runner prizes. So you can do that. I think the votes are still live, which is why I wanted to get this out. And that Batman 8 in 1 video will be next week because I just completely forgot about doing this one for such a long time. So I think it's towards the end of the voting phase for that, but still, you can go vote for them and vote for your favorite one. I'll leave the link to both my project and to the contest as a whole in the description and in a pinned comment. So please go do that. Let me know what you think of this, and if I should try out other stuff like this to make digital sets to look at. Please let me know in the comments, and I'll see you next episode of Legends and Theories. Thank you for watching this episode of Legends and Theories. Please subscribe, like the video, share the video, leave a comment, check out the video on screen, and may the Force be with you.